All right. Hello, all signs. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Crystal, and this is In My Own World Tarot. And this is the next 48 for all signs Aries to Pisces. I encourage you in watching this video that you listen to the video at its entirety. So that way, because you're more than just your sun sign, okay? And so it may hit for you in different areas of your life. If you're new to my channel, please be aware I pray before each and every one of my readings so that way my energy is protected, your energy is protected as well. I also cuss. I cuss a lot, may cuss a little, may not cuss at all. It all depends on how I feel. When watching any kind of tarot card reading, please use your own discernment and understand that the tarot cards are simply an illustration of the message that's given by the messenger. In this case, that would be myself. With my all signs reading, especially this reading, let me say this right now. If you do not like someone who likes to rant and give scenarios, I am not the reader for you. If you just want to get straight to the reading, I suggest you click off now, come back, or look in the comments, and there should be a timestamp in the comments so you can click right to your sign. I like to give people options of what you want, you know? But this, you're going to get a lot here, and if you miss out, you just miss out. It just lets me know you're not open-minded, but you're going to do as you so please. Moving forward, so for today's lesson, shall I say, or rant, or however you're going to take it. I call them lessons, you guys call them rants. I was watching an interview earlier today with Steve Jobs. If a lot of you are not familiar with Steve Jobs, he is the CEO of Apple. And it was from 2011, and he said, you know, how he really got successful was he wasn't afraid to pick up the phone and ask a question, nor was he not, and he wasn't afraid to fail. And I was like, wow. That is me in a nutshell. I will ask anybody anything. And I might just end up on, I've tried many things and did not work out. Some of them did work out, some of them didn't. But that's like the truest statement. And what made me even connect the dots, because I always connect the dots with different situations that happened in my life. Yesterday, being the overly friendly person that I am, I noticed that my neighbor was sitting on his patio and he was recording like something on his camera or something. You know how the influencers have the camera. So I asked him and I said, hey, are you an influencer or a YouTuber? And he was like, something like that. And I was like, oh, okay. And, you know, he went on to tell me about his business and everything. I guess he's new to the area that I'm in Tampa or whatever. And, you know, he was just telling me about this place that he owns, which he really rents, but I'm not going to get into that side of the story. And all that, and telling me like the person he met and everything. And in my head, I'm just laughing. I'm laughing because I'm a very private person. I'm a very loud, but I'm also very friendly and polite. So everywhere I go, I meet someone. Every day, I meet somebody new. I'm going to have a conversation with you. And I'm not saying I'm one of them hometown celebrities, but I know a lot of people in my area, you know, or I know a connection that knows connection, knows connection, knows connection. Like if you mention someone, I may know someone who knows you, who knows that. To get you this, to get you that, to get you that. And so I'm talking to the guy and then he asked me, he's like, what do you do for a living? And then automatically assumes he's like, what, customer service? And right at that moment, because I was so ready to get him connected and hooked up to Tampa, because I'm like, okay, you know, you trying to start a lifestyle travel blog or whatever, I got you, you know, especially in Tampa. I know people who know people who know people. But as soon as he made that assumption, you know, I immediately was like, I'm not going to help you. So that brings me back to the interview I was talking about with Steve Jobs, where he just said, yeah, I picked up the phone and I asked people. I wasn't afraid to fall on my face. What I want to add to that is that when you're asking a question to someone that you may not know, or you're trying to, you know, sell something, don't assume the consumer. You can never assume. That's why at the beginning of my videos, my intro is so long, because I'm trying to reach a lot of people, but I can't assume that how I'm doing it and what I'm saying is going to reach everyone. And if everyone's not even ready for someone who, you can't eat ice, babe, because you got that, your tooth. So thank you. Sorry. He touched the ice machine. I was about to lose it. He just came back from the dentist. So back to what I was saying. You can't assume anything about anyone when you're seeking help, because when you assume anything about anyone when you're the one seeking help, you could miss out on an opportunity. Because what I really loved about him is that he went to, when in the interview he mentioned, how he called certain places. And he knew that certain places, had certain things or whatever, but he never assumed that he was going to get help. But he always did. But he never assumed and just said, oh, well, because of how they answered the phone or who they were, that was their only information they had for him. You see what I'm saying? And that is a big lesson on the flip side that I don't know if he got the lesson, but I really like, because it's taking a step back. And that's going to bring me to another point I want to talk to you guys about, is really taking that time to yourself and being celibate and not dating has made me so more aware. I'm not saying, do the nasty. If you want to do the nasty, do what you do. But, not doing that and engaging in things like that has made me so more focused on self and my surroundings and perceptions of how I view things and how others view me as well. Because I've taken that totally out of the equation, that part of it. I've taken the lustful side out of my mind, totally out of the equation. Not saying I don't have any type of emotion, I don't care for people, but the end goal for me is nothing to do with that in regards to how I'm trying to move and where I'm trying to go. Even if someone decides to date me right now, I'm not even thinking about you in a sense like, oh, yeah, I might say, I'm like, oh, like, okay, you're always going to be like, oh, this person's attractive or whatever. But that's not, at this point, anything to keep me talking to you. You see what I'm saying? Because I have restricted that. So once you restrict it, it's just like anything. Once you restrict something, it takes a while to adjust, and then you no longer have a desire for it. You see what I'm saying? And so I wanted to bring that to you guys' attention as well, because I had someone approach me. This is a funny story. I busted my ass yesterday chasing a frog off my front door. I texted a few people. 2 people, they were like, oh, and I asked about frog repellent, told me about frog repellent or whatever, carried the conversation, No one said, hey, and this is how, and I don't care if they listening or whatever, and I don't mean this in any type of way, but in regards to dating or even friendship or things like that, I really pay attention, especially, and then I pay attention to how I would respond. Like if somebody say, hey, I fell or whatever because of a frog, do you know anything about frog repellent? My first question would be, you need anything from me? You need me to come see about you or whatever? I didn't get that from anyone. And I was like, wow. And it helped me take a look back, but outside of my feelings. You see what I'm saying? I have been able to remove my feelings from certain situations because I'm not even in that headspace. If I was in that headspace of me being all in my feelings and wanting my own desired outcome, I would have cussed someone out. I would have been so offended. I was like, you don't even care about? I didn't do any of that. I just observed the situation. And in my mind, okay, I put them in a category like, oh, this is just an associate. If an emergency actually happens to you, like, this is not someone you can reach out to. I have categories in my mind of people. This is someone you can kiki with, because you need someone to kiki with. Let's just be honest. This is someone who's an associate. These are people you can reach out if you have an emergency. This is this person who, if it ever came about, because this person has said interest in you, that you could possibly give a chance to. I have categories in my mind. And it's not necessarily that when I'm having conversations, I'm testing people and their response. Absolutely not. Because these are not real things that happen. It's not a test like, oh, if I were to do this, Nah. This is how you normally respond. And it is not only how you normally respond, you have to look at it as well. This is how other people may see you. They may have put you in the category of just an associate. You in the category of this is not someone I can call in a case of emergency. So you have to realize it on both sides, is that just because we put people in categories, oh, this is somebody who's here for this, they could have put you in that same category too. When you take your emotions and your desired outcome that you want out of the situation, you can get the full view of what's really going on, like around you, the part you played, the part they played, and either the situation can be changed because of something that you're doing, or it cannot be changed, and that's just how it is. It really is. You know what I'm saying? If you decide that you want to change how the situation is, and this said person or situation is still acting in accordance to how they were before, you know your answer without getting your emotions so attached. Because when you get your emotions so involved in something, you do not see something clearly at all. Period. Point blank. I want somebody to fight me in the comments. I don't care. That's not a debate. That's not my view of life. That's really how it is. When you put your emotions into something, your view is not clear. Passion does not equal logic. And I'm going to go ahead and start the reading. Okay? Great God in heaven, please allow me to tap into the energy of the collective, Aries to Pisces. Any messages that they're needing, any guidance that they're seeking today. Please allow me to relay these messages to them as accurately and clearly as possible. Please protect my energy during this reading, protect their energy as well. Please continue to bless our lives with peace, abundance, prosperity, and protection. Thank you, amen, and ashe. But even with that, my approach as well is like, even now, if I decide to call someone out on something or whatever, I make sure that I say, I give caution tape. You know, because I know my mouth could be a little ruthless. I know I could be reckless. So I give my caution tape. And I still don't get reckless. I don't get reckless anymore. I'm still going to say what I want to say, but I had to learn how to be more compassionate. Still being able to express myself, but not getting all out of pocket. Because that's stupid. But I give caution tape. I'm like, hey, you know, I'm about to say something to you. I don't want you to get offended. And I don't want you to take this the wrong way. I want to let you know how I'm seeing this situation. When I'm about to get into somebody's ass, that's how usually I start it now. And when I say get into somebody's ass, I'm still not cussing you out after I give you that caution tape. I'm just stating my point. And from my observation, and for how I took it, and for how it is. And this actually has led me now. I've been practicing doing that for the past about 4 months. Has led me into deeper conversations with people I never thought I would have a deeper conversation with. Because I opened it up for a conversation. And see, that's the thing I try to tell people, is that a lot of us want to debate and we want to argue and we just want someone to see our point. Nah, it all depends on how you approach it too. I want you to see my point, but if I come at you, you're fearing me, you're not hearing me. If I let you know, hey man, I'm about to, I'm about to say something to you. You may not like what I'm about to say, but I'm about to say it. Are you ready to receive it? Some people will say no. And some people will be like, all right, go ahead. And then they may get combative with you. That's someone that's really wasn't ready to have that conversation, and that's okay. You don't have to get combative back. You'd be like, okay, well, I see, I want you to have a good day. Go ahead and end the conversation. Some people may not say nothing else to you, but you're going to have a few people, and they're going to go back and forth, and y'all going to have a great conversation. A conversation. Not an argument, not a debate. Nobody's going to get hostile. Nobody's going to leave angry. You're going to see each other's point of view. Stay calm. That's my whole point. Learn how to stay calm. Take your emotions out of shit. When you take your feelings out of things, you will see a lot. You will see a lot. You really will. And you'll understand things better. And you just move. It's less stressful too. It's just like you move easier. You move better, to me. Anyways, I'm upside down. Aries, endings and new beginnings. Do we have to go through this? You got the death card here. You need to be careful, Aries, that you don't get caught up. Somebody's car ain't legit. When you driving, if you don't have correct insurance, slow your ass down. Listen, I'm telling you, I had a car one time, and my friend, she used to joke with me all the time. She's like, how long was you driving that car with no insurance? I was riding out with no insurance on a car one time for a good maybe year or 2 years. Your girl was on it. I knew how to drive. But whoever this is, listen. Go the speed limit, put on your seatbelt, stay away from the police if you're going to do that. But just make sure you get your proper insurance, okay? We all done did it. We'll let your insurance lapse or something, okay? No judgment here. Taurus, you are actually, go ahead, look at you, Taurus, in your own energy. You in your bag, Taurus. Taurus said, listen, I ain't got time for the drama. I'm trying to focus on my money. And if it ain't about money, it don't make sense. Okay, so I see you, Taurus. Gemini. Ooh. Transformation. Okay. With the number 11 to step into the age of Aquarius, seeing things for what they are. Bang, that's why I had to go into that rant for y'all. I don't like to call them, I call them rants because people say I talk too much, but it really lessens if you pay attention. But seeing things for what they are. Tell you. I was telling my good friend of mine, he was telling me about semen retention. I was like, well, that's celibacy. Same thing. Semen retention. But that is really powerful. People be like, oh, this is a over 18 channel. But people think that when you are constantly releasing, when you're doing the nasty or whatever, your mind is clear. That is definitely not true. You're releasing all your energy out. And then the person that you either have in you or you're in, if they don't have ain't on the same energy level, you ain't even restoring that. So your mind, you're really not seeing things clear. You foggy as hell, if you think about it. So anyways, Cancer. So Cancer, you are trying not to, get upset about, this is the issue. Cancer, you need to stand up for yourself, though. This is something totally different than what I'm talking about. This is somebody who actually has an issue and you have all right to be mad at someone, but you're trying to avoid your emotions. This is different. Avoiding your emotions, that's a whole nother issue. You trying to avoid your emotions because you're going to get pissed off. Nobody's saying you don't have to avoid your emotions. You just need to know how to communicate them. But not avoid them. You don't need to avoid them. That's you in the next 2 days. These are the next 48, guys. It's not forever. Leo. Dang, it's a lot of that. That's why I had to talk about this today. Everybody avoiding their emotion. They're like, oh, I just ain't going to say shit. No. Now, in some cases, don't say shit. It's not even worth the conversation because somebody not going to hear you. And that might be what you're doing, Leo's like, what, this person, even if I did break it down and I was calmer, this person's still not going to see what I'm saying. They're not going to see where I'm coming from. Because this person's not emotionally intelligent and this person's just combative. Now that I can see. Virgo. Making sacrifices here for either for your child or for your child fantasy, for your childhood fantasy. But it's going to require a sacrifice here. And it feels to me a sacrifice of going back. Like, it's almost like, I don't think you owe anyone an apology, but it's knowing when to just surrender and be like, you know what? Yeah, I may have took an L on that, but I've learned the lesson. So you might take an L in the next 2 days, but you gonna learn the lesson from this L, Virgo. I'm gonna be honest, and it may have to do with the child. It may have to do with some money or some legalities, but you're gonna take an L. I don't see you being victorious in the next 2 days, but you are gonna learn the lesson, and the victory should be in the lesson and not whatever you were trying to gain. Libra. I had to think about it. So Libra, you're realizing, a lot of y'all taking a different look at things in the next 2 days. You're realizing that you may be I hate to say the HBIC, but I'm going to say it, in charge. And you're stepping into this leadership role. And someone once told me, in order to be a great leader, you have to be the perfect student. You have to be. And you also have to know, when you're a leader, you're going to have people that try to imitate you, and there's always going to try to step up, and they're going to become the lead, but they're going to try to become the lead through the teaching that you gave them. But what they're teaching you is humbleness and compassion. That's what you're going to be going through in the next 2 days. And also knowing your worth, because there's always going to be someone who thinks they're smarter than you, better than you, and they can do it better than you. And there's always going to be your student who thinks they can do better, they know better than you. If that was the case, become the teacher. But what that teaches the teacher is that I know what I'm teaching, and I see your drive. I'm humble enough to know, even if you are better, that it's okay, because that doesn't stop me from being a leader, because there's room for multiple leaders. So you get a lesson, the student gets a lesson. All right? Scorpio. Ooh, somebody losing some money. Be careful going gambling in the next 2 days. I do not see you winning at the casino. Be careful. This ain't the time for you to do that, or a scratch off or something like that. It's not a good time for gambling. For right now it's a time for action, but it's really not a time for like gambling. Especially we're in the North Node of Taurus, and then we're in the Sun of Aries. It's not a good time to gamble. I know you're like, well, we're in Mars, whatever, but we're still, yes, we are. The Sun is in Mars, but the North Node's in Taurus. So this impulsivity is not really recommended during this transit of where the planets are aligning at this time. If I can break it down to you like that. Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, ooh, you may be moving house. Who house are you about to, either somebody about to pop up at your house and confess their love, or you about to pop up at somebody else's house? Get ready for a pop-up, Sagittarius. Either you or somebody else. Capricorn. Trying to figure out, is this love? Do I love? Is this my? I hate to use this cliche-ish, but y'all gonna kill. I don't care. Somebody's trying to figure out, is this a soulmate, a twin flame? Who is this person I'm connected to? Is this just my friend? Is this somebody I'm supposed to be with? Is this my mentor? Is this my student? Who is this to me? You trying to figure this out because somebody then caught feelings for somebody else. Either you did, or a Cancer, or somebody with these heavy placements did. And somebody trying to figure out, or a Libra or Taurus, somebody trying to figure out what this is. Aquarius. Got some secrets being exposed, either by you or a Gemini. Be careful how you moving. Pisces. Okay. Am I going to get an invite to the housewarming? Somebody either about to buy a house, or you about to move over this weekend. It's going to be a shock, because I don't think you told whoever you live with that you leaving. That's one of them 80, anybody that got a mama, who like, your mama got to be, she either 45 and up, and your mama done been divorced and had a boyfriend, and a boyfriend was doing her wrong. Next thing you know, y'all moving in the middle of the night. That's that energy, Pisces. Yeah, it is. Shoot, my mama, we moved states. We moved from Virginia all the way to Florida. I didn't even know, and it's so funny, because I talk about how I was raised a lot, and I had one of the weirdest childhoods, because I was sheltered, but I wasn't sheltered, if that makes sense, because I'm the youngest. So when things happen, I was either the last to know, or I just didn't know, because I just had to go along, because I'm the youngest, and I didn't really find out what really happened. I still don't know half the things that really happened in my childhood, and I'm 35, because I'm the baby, you know. So there you go. That's that. But yeah, but that's how I ended up down here too. But everybody like, you ain't from around here, no. And I never knew. I didn't know until I got older why we ended up moving down here. But that was why. But let me stop telling my mama business. Because some of my family probably watching, gonna go back. Mama, then I missed the phone call from my mom talking about, you talking about me on your chat on. I did. So anyways, get off of that, because I ain't got time. So overall energy and the overall advice, relationship change. Ooh, okay. So this is letting me know that the energy I got for all 12 energies is that You guys are ready to either start dating, putting yourself back out there again, or move jobs. But it's like you want to make sure before you put yourself back out there again that you're looking at things in the right way. And if not, this is why you came to this reading, to figure out, how do I look at things in the right way? By holding yourself back. If you decide to be celibate or semen retention, that's on you. But taking your emotions out of shit, that's how you can really change and look at the full perspective and see your way, their side, your side, all your past relationships and everything. And I always say, even if they were a slime ball, they cheat on you and all that stuff, that happens to everybody. But there was a part you played, because number one, you stayed. You see what I'm saying? And you got to own that you stayed in something way too long. You got disrespected way too long. You didn't see your worth for way too long because you stayed way too damn long. And you got to own that. And until you own that, you're going to keep meeting people. And then, I wanted to say this too. Now I'm going to let y'all go. Can I say something that's going to make all everybody upset with me? And I am a culprit. I used to tell people to do this. Stop going on dates with people just for the meal. If you know you have no interest in somebody, no interest whatsoever, you cannot see yourself dating this man, and you know he ugly as hell to you. And it's, even if he not attracted to you, even his personality, it just sucks. And you know. But you're like, but he got money, I'm going to get me a free meal. But guess what? Karma's a bitch. Because then you try to move on. You want a real person, a real man to appreciate you. And then you finally get in a real relationship. You cooking dinner for this person and they don't appreciate it. They don't say thank you. That one time, or them couple of times, I wouldn't just say one time, them couple of times you went on them dates and you had no interest and you just used somebody for a free meal. And then you wonder why when you get in a relationship, you just keep getting used for a free meal. That shit go both ways, baby. It do. I'm going to stop telling people that. I used to tell people that all the time. Like, girl, go on a date. Go get you a free meal. My mama taught me that from a long time ago. She did. Go on a date, get you a free meal. That shit come back. It's karma, baby. Stop doing that. Like, if you don't have no interest in somebody, don't entertain them, because you giving people false hope. And then you get your feelings hurt when you get false hope. Or you're in a relationship, you expected this man to be loyal, but you treated somebody who was trying to give you the world because you didn't like how they dressed, false hope. But you didn't think that shit was going to come back around, and it did. And now you sitting there looking sick in the face. That's all I'm saying. But anyways, different perspective. I'm telling y'all, man, my mind just been like clear. And I was like, okay. I just be peeping shit. Third eye wide open, like, damn. But I had to step back and just look at it from over here. Everything happening over there, I had to be over here. You see what I'm saying? To really see things and just like take my emotions out of it. And it took me taking time to myself. I stopped doing personal reviews for like 45 days. I just stepped away. Looked at the shit that I was doing, looked at the things that other people was doing, and I just made, okay, now this is how I need to move now. And I moved totally different than I ever moved before, that I could even imagine myself moving, hell, a year ago. I moved totally different. And it's without fear. It's without anger. It's with compassion. It's with empathy, common sense, logic, observation. That's how you need to be moving, with those key elements. Like that. But you got to take that anger and all that passion and all that. Have passion for what I'm doing, yes. There's still levels to this. You see what I'm saying? You still got to see the full perspective. You got to take the judgment out of just take your judgment out. Throw that shit out the window. It's in the trash. Throw it out. Life will be it's going to be things that you have to handle in life. But I'm telling you, your life will be so much smoother. It will. It will. If I tell you everything I had went through in the last 3 days that I had to handle. Now, I don't want to say went through, because it wasn't anything bad. It's just regular day-to-day shit, being a single mom and a single woman. A lot of shit. I handled that shit like a G. And I ain't patting myself up or trying to be arrogant or overly confident, but I did. Way better than what I would have a year or two ago. Way better. But I just want to let y'all know that, you know, just take your emotions out of it. But you guys stay blessed, stay safe, and stay protected. If you need me for anything, the information is in the description box below the video. Oh, Tarot Hotline starts this week it's Monday through Friday from 7 to 8, excluding Tuesdays, because Tuesdays is my baby's basketball. You know, he got practice and all that. 7 to 8, what it is 2 questions for $20. You got to Cash App the Cash App below. Text the number 813-708-8781 that you sent the Cash App. You'll get your phone time back anytime. It's going to be anytime between 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Within that hour, 2 questions, $20, Monday through Friday. All right. Any other readings outside of that, you know, use the booking link. But I'm going to holler at y'all, and I'll talk to y'all in the next 48. Bye.